parents of my generation, we need to do better. Parenting is not easy. It's not about you got pregnant and you give birth. It is work. As a parent, you are going to give account of your children's lives. When God gives you children, we are to raise them as godly seeds to Him. If you understand this, you will not raise your children anyhow. Parenting is about balance. Welcome to my channel. So good to see you. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. Click on the notification button, like this video, and please leave a comment. Okay, so there's this video that I think I've seen 2 videos of this beautiful lady. Her video went viral, some few weeks ago on Instablog and other blogs. And that was after Pastor Jerry Eze had joined a what is it called now? He did a program in the UK. All right, and people were bashing him up and down. They were saying a lot of things, and this lady came out to say that if you say you were a Christian before and you no longer want to be a Christian, you should face your front. If you refuse to give tithe to the church, that since you stopped giving, has anything changed? I know some of you would have seen that video. I don't know if I get her picture. I hope I post the picture here, but if not, I hope some of you have seen those videos when it went viral. So her current video, I've seen 2 videos on this thing she's saying, talking about how parents do not raise their kids well, especially parents of this age. This is our 21st century in Nigeria. How some of us parents are trying to adopt what does she call that thing? Is it the cool parenting style? You're trying to be an Oyibo, you don't want to flog your child, you don't want to scold them, which is okay. All right, we're not saying you must scold your children, we're not saying you must flog them as we believe and how we do it in Africa, but you must train your children. You must train them. The rod may not necessarily be the cane. The Bible says spare the rod and spoil the child. So the rod may not necessarily be this long thing that is strong. No, the rod could be punishments, little punishment, not even little punishments that are deserving. So if you know the one that will make sense, I know that when I was a teacher, they would tell us that you study these children, know what works for them. Okay, there are children that if you tell them to kneel down, that's the worst punishment you've given them. There are some, if you tell them to, there are things you can tell them to do. In fact, once you punish them like that, they will never try that offense again. So she's angry, like she starts giving her experience of 2 kids she taught in her school. One, she told the child finished eating, and she told the child, clear your table. I think that's part of the school rule. Clear your table, and the child is like, I'm sorry, I can't do that. That is the cleaner's job. She said, and I'm like, whoa, that is the cleaner. So you can imagine the kind of things his mother would have told him in the house. Another scenario that she gave, that this particular child always comes home without completing his assignments. She now writes in the communication book, please supervise your son so that he can do his assignments. Now what this mother writes back as reply in the communication book is, please give my son some slack. Now wow, that's why for me there are schools I can't teach you. I don't know, like I hear they pay 250,000, they pay, if you like, pay 1.10 million. There are schools I cannot work in. Especially those schools that will tell you we don't if you tell me we don't flog, I can train myself not to flog, because the bad thing about flogging is that if you flog in anger, you are definitely going to injure that child. Even if it's your own child, you will definitely injure. And that's sometimes when my children offend me, like when they really offend me, if I want to spank, it's on their palm. I don't pass their palm. The few times I had flogged out of anger, I actually injured my children. So I had to stop it, okay? So sometimes when I get frustrated, I'll just look at them and scold. So it's okay if you tell me don't flog, but don't tell me not to punish a child, even if it is light punishment. Don't tell me not to scold a child when he has done something wrong. Okay, see the other one that is saying that is the job of the cleaner. Oh goodness. And this, see, I noticed it. It's not just her. Even in the normal schools that I taught, I saw some children like that. And what you parents don't realize is that you're raising monsters. Please, I'm sorry to say, even the American people that you're copying, do you not see how most of their children end up? Go and look at homes, even the American society. Go and look at the homes where their parents are not firm in raising their children. So the word is being firm. We are not saying you should use cane and finish them or give them punishments like they're in the military. But be firm in raising them. Go and see parents who are not firm in raising their children. Go and see how those children turn out. They are the ones who become rapists in the future. They are the ones who become suicidal. They will just pick up gun and enter anywhere and start shooting. Enter the school or the bank and start shooting. And what will some of these parents tell you? We loved him. I tell my children, my niece and my nephews, it is only somebody that loves you that corrects you. I mean, look at God that we serve. Even God made us understand that there are consequences for things that we do. That God loves you does not mean that you fornicate. You go and sleep with a man that is not your husband. And because he loves you, he will now do something supernatural and throw something from heaven that will make you not to get pregnant. Oh, you will get pregnant. But the thing is that when you get pregnant, he will do because he loves you, that is your punishment for disobeying. He said, marriage is beautiful, bed undefiled. You say no, you want to do it before marriage, and you carry belle, he will just give you the grace to carry it. It is the consequences, or the consequence. Parents of my generation, we need to do better. I know I have made like I think 2 or 3 videos saying this. You can imagine in this age, some parents are giving favoritism. I bet they put the English before I bite my tongue to the boys. You concentrate raising the girls. You're going to be a wife. You're a woman. You should do this. You should do that. And then they leave the boys, and you don't realize that you're raising monsters. I remember a time this guy they call Alvin. If you go to his page on TikTok, I think the name of his page is Ashawo Headquarters 1, something like that. I remember when he came out and he was saying, rich parents, go and raise your children well. Rich parents, or I think either he said rich parents or he said Lagos parents or island parents, something like that. I think he said island, yeah, because he went to do a job on Lagos Island. And he was like, island parents, raise your children well. And he started giving his own account of what he experienced. And this thing occurs more with the so-called wealthy parents. You now make it look like wealth is a curse. I don't know. Of course it's not a curse, because I know I live with a woman. In fact, her husband is one of the high chiefs of Onitsha that stays in the Obi of Onitsha. He's very close, that they call members of his cabinet. I saw how she raised her kids. If you met her kids outside, you will not even know they're from rich backgrounds until you come into their house and see what they own. You'll be like, wow. She raised her kids well. I remember one time I went to serve their father food, and the father was like, no, that he suffered to make money. That so his children must understand what it is to make money. He didn't raise them like they were wealthy. Not like he didn't provide, he provided their basic needs. He made them understand which needs were basic and important, and the things that were wants and frivolities. So his children would not come and say that I want this and he will just do it for them. No, he raised them well. And you need to see all 6 children doing well. None has brought disgrace to him, yet they are from wealthy homes, trained properly. Some of you parents make it look like wealth is a curse. And where you will see this madness, you see all these schools, they pay 1 million, 1.2 million, whatever million they are paying there. That is where you will see this madness. The children do their leg like they don't match I don't understand. I was opportuned to, I don't know if that school is still existing in Ishud. I think it's in Ikeja. I think is it Oxford or Oxbridge College, something like that. I can't remember. But I was opportuned to attend the International Foundation here because my mom wanted me to school in London. But unfortunately, we didn't get the money to continue. But I attended there for about 4 months. I couldn't pay their fees, so I dropped out. And there was, because I think the owner of this school understood this thing and then got the then chairman of Vanguard newspaper to come and talk to us. And of all the things that man said, I don't think I heard a lot of things, but of all the things that man said, he said one thing that stuck to my head. He said, Children, 60% of children who come from wealthy families don't turn out well. Most people you see turn out well in life, go and read about them. They are usually those ones who couldn't afford 2 or 3 square meal. They are usually those ones who drank garri as breakfast, lunch and dinner. Because somehow challenges has a way of making you strong. It has a way of creating wisdom in you if you let it. And I'm like, wow. So the reason the owner of the school brought that chairman was to come and talk to the children that, see, please, for the fact that you're from a rich background, don't misuse this opportunity. Make up your mind to be something in life. And these children, it's not because something just makes them not turn out well. It is because of the way their parents are raising them. Know this and know peace. You are accountable for these children. God is going to ask of them. He's going to require of them from your hands. You see the way the book of Ezekiel says, when I tell you to go and preach to a particular soul, and you refuse to preach to that soul, he said, when that souls die, I will require the blood from your hands. It is how God will require your children from your hands. He will tell you, I gave you so children, whether it's 1 or 2 or 3. How did you raise these children? Remember, I have said in my previous videos that when God gives you children, we are to raise them as godly seeds to Him. If you understand this, you will not raise your children anyhow. You would not. They don't belong to you. Yes, they came through you, but they don't belong to you. You must raise them properly. If you read the book of Proverbs, God kept saying, child, listen to your mother. Listen to the teachings of your mother and the instructions of your father. As a mother, you must teach these children. As a father, you must leave instructions. That's why you see so many movies in Nigeria. There are so many movies trying to preach to parents not to, don't use wealth to choke your children, or stuff their brain that they are no longer able to reason. And you see some children, these movies will show you that children who came from these rich homes, when they say that, okay, the money has gotten to their head, they withdraw this wealth from these children. And you see somehow they have sense. Whether these children are from poor homes or rich homes, parenting is about balance. The way I raise my children, I do more of coaching. I talk to them often. That's why I tell people, I say parenting is not easy. It's not about you got pregnant and you give birth. It is work. It is work. Training children is not beans. So I hope that we do better as parents, honestly speaking. I pray with all my heart that we do better, because the kind of children we are raising, oh Lord, we are raising monsters. In the name of gentle parenting. Yes, that was the word. In the name of gentle parenting. Whether you're doing gentle parenting or whatever parenting you're doing, be balanced. Teach your children that there are consequences. There are consequences for every action. That's what I tell my own kids too. Whether those actions are good or they are bad, there are consequences. Teach your children a lot of things. Teach them the scriptures. Punish them when they need to be punished. Praise them when they need to be praised. Don't contribute to the madness of the society. You don't train your boys well, they will grow up to be rapists. You don't train your boys well, they will grow up to be narcissistic. They are the ones who will get married to women tomorrow and treat them poorly. Or you will not even raise a man. You will not be able to raise an authentic man who will be able to take charge of his life. Or you raise a woman who is going to bring pain to a man's life. Be conscious of how you raise your children. Be deliberate. Let your raising be deliberate. Especially in this Lagos, I think Lagos is where the madness is more. Of all the cities in Nigeria, Lagos is where the madness is something else. Because most of you parents even leave the training of your children to house helps. There was one I just saw this morning now. The house help did not put the children well. And if you see the way the woman did her room, you know that this one a rich woman. I think she had about 3 or 4 kids. Each kid had their own bed. I was like, money is good. She told this house help, go and keep the kids so that they can sleep. And the woman, I guess she just kept them anyhow. And I think while she was trying to make the one of her babies sleep, she slept off on the bed with her knees on the ground. And they don't want to abuse her, but a fool anyway, because somebody will tell that when Jesus calls you a fool, it's not an insult. And the fool of a parent or mother was videoing her and saying, this house help will not kill me. For that lady to go and to sleep off on her knees, it shows that the woman has been working and she's probably tired. You will go where you will go, you will abandon your children for a house help. And then what you cannot do, things you cannot do, the stress you cannot take, she is taking it, and you will still have the effrontery to complain. You see, that is why I said it's just like all these Gen Z ladies we are seeing up and down. That don't know what life is. The next thing now, somebody will just open leg, carry belle, born the pikin. Yeah, she has turned to mother like that. You don't develop your brain capacity. You have no empathy. Things you cannot do. Parents, do better, please. Please. You see, the same way you have the office of a pastor, evangelist, this work as parents we are doing is an office. So remember that God will require these children from you on that judgment day. Whether the judgment day is if you buy now, I mean that judgment day is after rapture. Wherever your judgment day will meet you, God will require these kids of your hands. Remember, God gave us children so that we can raise them as godly seeds unto Him. It's not, He didn't give us children to prove to the world that we are not barren. Or He didn't give us children so that we can brag. No. He gave us because we have an assignment. And that assignment is that we raise godly seeds unto Him. So please stop raising your children like, I don't know what some of you are raising your children like cow. You think you have human beings, but you have is zoo animals you are raising. A word is enough for the wise. So please, what do you think about this in the comment section? Please, you can tell us ways of how we can raise our children better to be better people in the society in the comments. It is so good to talk with us. Please do not forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed. Click on the notification button, like this video, and do not forget to leave a comment. Until next time.